Hey, what's up? This is Matt Dietz, and this is Agency Launch. This is the show where I tell you what it's like to run an insurance agency. So we talk about sales and marketing, and staffing and retention, and everything that I've learned in 19 years of running an agency. Hey, I got something free for you today. Hey, are you getting yelled at by your clients a little bit more than you're used to? Like, we're in a pretty heavy rate cycle, right? Where we're taking a lot of rates. So I'm going to give you a letter that you can email to your clients. It's one that I've written myself. It's one that I'm using in my agency, and it's getting a really nice response from my clients. This letter shows why they bought from you. So do me a favor and send me a text, 208-213-8809, and write the word email, and I will send you a link to this letter. All right, there you go. On with the show. All right, I got something for you today. I got another feather to put in your cap. I got another tool to put in your toolbox. I wanted to introduce you to Brightco. Brightco is an online jewelry insurance carrier, and they are making your life easier and your customers' lives easier. How? Well, quoting is super easy. You can do a quote in like 2 minutes by answering 6 questions. All their policies are backed by an AM Best A+ rated insurance carrier. Renewals are automatic. Claims will not be reported on a Clue report. That is huge. Their plans offer $0 deductibles. They have 125% replacement cost value. They cover mysterious disappearance. It's everything you want in your jewelry coverage. So do me a favor. If you want to get appointed or check them out, go to bright.co/Matt Dietz. That's bright.co/MATTDIETZ and get in. All right, so I'm going to walk you through an exercise right out of the gate, okay? This is going to be interactive. So do me a favor, raise your hand as high as you can, okay? Even if you're in the car, like bend it. Raise your hand as high as you can, okay? Now, go a little higher, right? First time I saw someone do that, I was like, you bastard. Like, that's a great little exercise, right? What does that mean? And how does it relate to what we do in our business, right? Or in life, whatever you want to talk about. But like, I told you to raise as high as you can and then go a little higher, and then you can do it. You can do a little bit more. So like, what are you doing in your business that you're maybe only doing 90% and you're not giving it your all, okay? What can you do a little better, and sometimes it's the little better that makes your business a lot better, okay? So example, I was working with an agent recently, and they ran into an issue that caused some problems, and they had a binder that was supposed to issue for a home, on like the beginning of the month, like the 1st. So the agent got the binder to the mortgage broker with time to spare, and the lender emailed the agent back and said, hey, because there were some pricing issues going back and forth, and the lender responded to the agent and said, all right, I will get back to you. So she had the binder in hand, but she told the agent that she would get back to him, okay? So he took her at her word, and the first passed, and like 3 weeks later, they got a check for that policy. That policy was never issued, okay? So they're going to work that out and figure that out. But, the question is like, what could be done differently? Like, the agent didn't do anything wrong, right? Like, they were waiting to hear back. But what can you do instead to ensure that doesn't happen again? So we talked, and I said, look, what you can do, and what we do in our agency is we put it on the calendar for every closing to make sure that we submit, the policy. So if it's supposed to close on the 1st, we put it on our calendar on the 1st. The Smiths are closing on the 1st. We call and confirm on that day, hey, is this closing? Yes, Okay, then we push submit and issue the policy. Okay, so if you add that little move, that little extra phone call in there, it can undo a lot of angst and a lot of extra work. And like the other example that I would give you is that I've had staff in the past who, let's say I needed a signature on a form, and I was like, hey, get this to the clients. I need this signed and get it back to me. My staff member will email that out, and it will go to the client, and there it goes, okay? And let's say it never comes back. Well, sometimes when we don't get a signature back, bad things happen, right? Policies cancel, and then refunds go out, and it creates this huge mess. Now I've got to reinstate. Now I got to move money back. It's a mess. So you can go to the staff member and be like, well, why didn't you get the signature? And she would say, well, I emailed it. I just never got it back. And that should be the difference between like an average agency and you, which is a good agency, right? If you don't get it back, you go get it, chase it, send the second text, send the second email, place the phone call, get the signature, get it back, okay? Because those extra moves, that extra phone call, email, text, that will take you 1 minute, can save you hours of work. Hours of work. A lot of the service work that is done in your agency can probably be avoided by doing just a little bit extra, okay? So just keep that in mind. What can you do in your agency that you can add that's not going to add much time to your process, but can save you hours of time moving forward, okay? The other thing too is like when it comes to your sales process or marketing or your staff, like what can you do a little differently? Just a little. I had a boss when I worked in another job 20 years ago. Every day that I left, he said, hey, thanks, great job today. Every single day for like the year and a half I worked for him. I never forgot it, okay? I do the same thing in my agency. Every time they leave, hey man, thanks a lot. The little extra things, okay, they matter. They matter that's the difference sometimes between good and great. So I want you to think about some of the things that you're doing, some of the things that you can add when I ask you to stretch a little higher. Now go a little higher, like what can you do just a little better? I asked the question too in the past. I was like, at the end of the day, if you ask yourself this question at the end of every day, did you do your best today? I think that's a good question to kind of have on the tip of your tongue often. Am I doing my best right now? Okay. Did I do my best this morning? Did I do my best yesterday? Did I do my best this afternoon? Because it can be easy to kind of drift, into mediocrity. So if you're an agency owner, the only person to hold you accountable is yourself. Okay. So these are important skills and tasks that you need to deploy for yourself. Am I doing my best? Could I have done something better? Could I have stretched a little higher? Could I have added a move in there to avoid this mess? And that's another thing. When you are cleaning something up or something's happening and you're like, why do I have to clean up this mess? I don't want you to just solve the problem and clean up the mess. I want you to understand why it happened in the first place so you don't have to do that again, okay? What can we do in this agency so that we never have to do that again, okay? That's how you refine incrementally your processes. That's how you get to be really streamlined and really efficient, okay? You have to teach that stuff to the new people that come in. These are the things that you need to figure out, so that you can be really efficient. These are the things you learn when you work with me as a coach. I will tell you all those things, okay? Save you hundreds of hours of time in your career. That's because I've seen it and I've done it, and that's a lot of the important work that we do is avoiding the mistakes that create a ton of work. It protects yourself. And it doesn't just protect like your business, which is obviously important, but it protects you. It protects, like, when you make a mistake, you feel like junk, right? You feel bad. I do. I take that stuff pretty hard. I'm sensitive that way, okay? And I don't ever want to feel that way again. So I will figure out a way to avoid doing that again. So it's not just protecting your business, it's protecting yourself, okay? Because that's a real energy suck, and you don't want to live in that space too long. So anyway, that's what I got for you today. All right, my name's Matt. This is Agency Launch. You can find me all over the place. I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Twitter or X, and Instagram at Deets Agency. Let's connect there. Don't forget to send me a text, 208-213-8809, and send me the word email, and I'll hook you up with a letter to send to your clients who are upset about their large increase in their renewals. And don't forget to check out Agency Launch at agencylaunch.net. Thank you so much for listening. Keep up the good work.